The discovery. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the observation window of Research Station Epsilon, watching the swirling purple gases of the Magellan Nebula. After 5 years working as the station's lead xenobiologist, she still found herself mesmerized by the view. The soft ping of her neural interface interrupted her contemplation. "Dr. Chen, your presence is requested in Laboratory 7. The station's AI announced with its characteristic metallic undertone. Sarah knew something was wrong the moment she stepped into the lab. Director Zixtal, a towering Arcturian with crystalline skin, stood unusually still before a holographic display. 3 other senior researchers, representing species from across the galaxy, huddled around a data terminal. "Dr. Chen," Zixtal's voice resonated through their crystalline form. "We've made a rather unexpected discovery about your species." The holographic display sparked to life, showing a complex molecular structure that Sarah immediately recognized as human DNA. But there was something else, a pattern she'd never seen before, highlighted in pulsing red. "This compound," Zixtal continued, "we've been searching for it for over 3,000 years. Every spacefaring civilization has tried to synthesize it. We call it the eternal molecule, the key to biological immortality." Sarah's mind raced. "I don't understand. This is just human DNA." "No," corrected Dr. Venn, a Proximan researcher whose tentacles were twitching with excitement. "Look closer at the highlighted section. Your species produces this compound naturally. It's integrated into your very genetic structure." Continuing with the detailed narrative that explores the implications of this discovery, the mounting tension as Sarah realizes the danger this poses to humanity, and the first hints that humans might be more than just passive victims in this scenario. The hunt begins. Sarah's hands trembled as she examined the data. The compound was there, woven through human DNA like a golden thread, previously invisible because it was so fundamental to their biology. But what truly chilled her was the way her alien colleagues were looking at her, like she was suddenly the most valuable specimen in their collection. "How many others know about this?" she asked, fighting to keep her voice steady. "The council was notified immediately," Zixtal replied. Their crystalline surface rippled with patterns Sarah had never seen before. "It's standard protocol for discoveries of this magnitude." Standard protocol. Sarah had been in space long enough to know what that meant. The Galactic Council, a consortium of the oldest spacefaring races, would be very interested indeed. Her neural interface pinged again, this time with an encrypted message from her old friend Dr. James Martinez on Europa Station. "Humans délais appearing from outer colonies, not accidents. Get somewhere, safe." Sarah maintained her composure, years of diplomatic training kicking in. "I'll need to compile a full report on this. May I have access to the raw data?" "Of course," Zixtal agreed too quickly. "But please remain on station until the council representatives arrive. They'll want to discuss the implications." Over the next few hours, Sarah gathered what she could while appearing to work normally. Through her neural interface, she accessed encrypted channels, finding more reports of missing humans. Small numbers at first. A researcher here, a colonist there. The kind of disappearances that could be explained away as accidents in the dangerous frontier of space. But there was a pattern. The disappearances had started 3 weeks ago, exactly when the initial discovery had been made. Someone had leaked the information before the official announcement. A message flashed across her neural interface. "Kevo and CL ship arriving in 6 hours." Sarah knew she had to act fast. The station's security systems were designed to keep things out, not in. But as she began to plan her escape, she noticed something odd in the genetic data, something the alien researchers had missed. The compound they sought wasn't just a chemical formula. It was dynamic, responding to neural patterns in human brains, and it was only active in living human tissue. Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. The aliens thought they'd discovered humanity's greatest vulnerability. Instead, they'd stumbled upon the reason humans had survived countless extinction events on Earth. They weren't just after humanity's blood. They were after humanity's essence. And they had no idea what they were about to unleash. The human response. Sarah's warning spread through hidden human networks faster than the Council's hunters could track. Humanity had always maintained its own channels of communication, paranoid habits, born from millennia of tribal conflicts. Now those same habits were saving lives. The first attempt to forcibly harvest humans was on a mining colony in the Ta City system. The aliens expected easy prey, isolated human workers far from Earth's protection. What they found instead was a prepared and coordinated resistance. No ships were destroyed. No shots were fired. But when the would-be harvesters woke up from their equipment malfunction, their quarry had vanished, along with 3 years' worth of mining data and several key components from their ship's navigation systems. Similar scenes played out across human space. Colonies went dark. Research stations reported computer failures. Human workers simply disappeared. But unlike the earlier victims, these humans were disappearing on their own terms. On Research Station Epsilon, Sarah had made contact with the human resistance. The plan was elegant in its simplicity. They didn't need to fight the aliens. They just needed to show them why harvesting humans was a monumentally bad idea. It's like an immune response, Sarah explained to the Resistance Council, meeting virtually through secure neural links. The compound they want. It's not just a chemical. It's part of what makes us human. Our adaptability, our survival instinct, our ability to face the impossible and find a way through. The council members, scientists, soldiers, diplomats, and explorers nodded in understanding. They had all seen humanity's peculiar strengths in their own fields. Every attempt to synthesize this compound has failed, Sarah continued, because it's not just about the molecule. It's about consciousness, about will, about the very thing that makes us so dangerous when cornered. Reports were coming in from across the galaxy. Alien research facilities studying human genetics were experiencing unprecedented equipment failures. Data was corrupting in specific patterns, and in every case, the corruption spelled out a clear message in basic galactic standard. The price is too high. The breaking point. The Harvesters Guild made their move exactly 6 months after the initial discovery. They struck simultaneously at 12 human colonies, using technology that should have disabled all resistance. Their ships were perfect, their plans flawless, their timing precise. They failed spectacularly. Not because of superior human firepower or secret weapons. They failed because they fundamentally misunderstood what they were hunting. Humans weren't just prey with a valuable biological component. They were the end result of millions of years of evolution on a death world, where cooperation and adaptability had been the keys to survival. Sarah watched the reports flood in from her new position at the Resistance headquarters, hidden in an asteroid belt. The Guild's ships found empty colonies, trap-filled facilities, and automated systems running in loops. And everywhere, they found warnings. Each harvesting attempt costs you more than you gain. The messages read, "The price keeps rising." The warnings were true. Guild ships began experiencing inexplicable malfunctions. Their secure databases leaked sensitive information. Trade routes became unreliable. And through it all, humanity's hidden network grew stronger. They still don't understand, Sarah told her resistance cell. They think we're using advanced technology or hidden weapons. They haven't realized that our greatest weapon is our ability to work together, to adapt, to turn their own systems against them. The breakthrough came when Sarah finally completed her analysis of the immortality compound. The results were both fascinating and terrifying. The compound wasn't just a chemical that prevented aging. It was a dynamic system that responded to consciousness itself. In humans, it created a perfect balance. In any other species, it became toxic. But the Guild wasn't ready to give up. They launched one final, massive operation, not against human colonies, but against Earth itself. Their armada emerged from hyperspace ready for the greatest harvest in history. They found Earth apparently defenseless. No military response. No desperate last stand. Just a message, broadcasting on all frequencies. Thank you for proving our point. Evolution's gift. The Guild's armada hung in Earth's orbit, weapons primed, harvesters ready. Then their ship's systems began to change. Not through hacking or sabotage, but through something far more fundamental. Sarah's discovery had led to an understanding that would reshape galactic civilization. The immortality compound wasn't just a quirk of human biology. It was the key to understanding consciousness itself. Humans had evolved it not as a path to eternal life, but as a tool for adaptation and growth. Through their neural interfaces, through the very technology the aliens had given them, humans had learned to project this adaptive consciousness. Every alien system that had been used to study humans had been subtly altered, not by code, but by the imprint of human thought itself. The Guild's ships didn't shut down. Instead, their crews experienced something unprecedented, a direct connection to human consciousness. They felt the echo of Earth's long history. The countless near extinctions survived, the endless adaptations, the unbreakable will to survive not just as individuals, but as a species. They understood, finally, why harvesting humans would never work. The compound they sought was inseparable from human consciousness. Trying to extract it was like trying to bottle evolution itself. The armada withdrew, not in defeat, but in understanding. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session, not to plan humanity's subjugation, but to begin a new kind of dialogue. Sarah stood before the Council 3 weeks later, no longer as a fugitive or a specimen, but as humanity's representative. Her words were simple but profound. The immortality you seek isn't about living forever. It's about facing the unknown and adapting. It's about working together to overcome impossible odds. And if you're willing to learn, we're willing to teach. The council chambers erupted in discussion. The oldest spacefaring races were finally confronting a truth they had long denied. True immortality couldn't be harvested or stolen. It had to be earned through evolution, through cooperation, through the very qualities that had made humanity so resilient. As Sarah left the council chambers, her neural interface pinged one last time. A message from the resistance. Phase 1 complete. Begin cultural exchange. She smiled. Humanity had not just survived. They had opened the door to a new era of galactic civilization. The hunters had become students, and the hunted had become teachers. The price of immortality wasn't paid in blood or genetic material. It was paid in understanding, in growth, in the willingness to adapt and change. And that was a lesson humanity had been perfecting for millions of years. The end.